Alright, let's continue with our Figma tutorial. What we're going to create is a second page, and this page is going to will be the let's get started page. It's going to contain an image, a picture background, and let's see what it takes. So they're not going to be identical. If they're not going to be identical, let's redesign them then. So first of all, this background, we delete it. So I've selected it, I hit delete on my keyboard, bang, and oops, that was wrong. I selected everything. This is just what I needed to select, just this one. I hit delete on my keyboard and it's gone. This second button, we don't really need it. I hit delete. For this one, let me zoom in a little, scroll down. Remember how I zoomed? I pinched my used my two fingers on my mouse pad. If you're using an external mouse, you could try something like holding your control key and using the mouse roller, the roller button on your mouse. That could work. Okay, so we have to ungroup this. It is grouped and locked, as you can see. If I click here, it is ungrouped now, so that we can address them separately. So I don't know why it's locked again. Control G. Okay, now I can handle them separately. So what I did is I selected them and I clicked on Control G. Alright, so I need to zoom in again. Alright, I just need it at this extreme, and then I need the name reduced. Oops. Since it's text, we have to reduce it in another way. So we go to this side, the text, the font size. We'll look for where there's font size. Bold 35. So I can unbold it regular, and instead of 35, can put it as, let's look at 15. Enter. Okay, I think 15 is too small. Instead of 15, I think I can do regular bold. Okay, makes sense so far. Next thing is we need a menu icon here. Alright, let me zoom out just to be sure that we're doing the right thing. Okay, we need a menu icon here. And to get the menu, remember, we'll go to fontawesome.com, 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 and then we search for a menu icon. I'm just gonna search for menu, click on icons, and then you search for menu. So I clicked on icons and it's showing me this. Fine, so I click on menu, I search for menu, hit enter. Okay, even if you don't hit enter, it's gonna show you a menu. We're looking for something like this, good. So I'm just gonna click on this and then I chill till it opens a new page, and then I download. So actually I had to double click it for it to open. Okay, now here's the menu icon we're looking for. So I click on download SVG. So I want you to see what happens. Lower left of my screen here, I'll click download SVG, agree on download, and there you go, there it is. So if we get back to our tab, our format tab, where you have this, we can drag this now to this place. Oh, it's too big. So I can minimize it, minimize again, yeah, till it gets to the size I'm looking for. I can place it here, minimize just a little more. Cool. So now remember there are grids that it snaps to the grid as you're adjusting them, so it's gonna be on the same line with this. And now the color, remember how we can change the color. We'll pan to the right and then the color is black, but if we click here, we'll go to document colors and we select this, and then it's okay. Now we have the color now. Good, beautiful. Now the next thing we're gonna do is this button. We can drag it up to this point, get started. See the way it's snapping to grid. Alright. Now I want the background of this, at least from here down, to be gray instead of just white, plain white. So what do? We get a rectangle, click here, and then somewhere just here. So basically, look, the same distance from this top, from here to this top, I want to give the same distance from here to the place. So you make a good guess, then start from here and draw a rectangle that goes all the way, snaps to grid, goes all the way to the bottom. Fine. And it's already gray by default, because gray is one of our document colors. Now, but it's covering the button. What do? We have to right click, send to back. Okay, send backward. Did not work, so send to back. Send to back. You see, our button appears. Now, if you look at this button, even though it snaps to grid, it looks one-sided. One thing we can do is to click on the button and extend it a little, just this way. Fine. A little, and then we're good. Get started. So you see, fine. The next thing we want to do is to add an image. There are so many ways to add an image, but what we're gonna do right away is to go to Google and get a free image. Now, to get a free image from Google is not hard. So we're just gonna go to our browser this way, open a new tab, and right here I'm gonna search for the image that I want. Okay, and the image could be let's say vegetation. Okay. Okay, so I've searched for vegetation. If you click on images, you're going to see very nice landscapes, which is good. I'll take the most beautiful one. But before you do that, when you're searching on Google, make sure that you click on more. Nope, you click on settings. Sorry, tools. You click on tools. Look for usage rights, Creative Commons. Okay. Creative Commons means it's kind of free. Yeah, it means it's free to use. So I think I like this kind of vegetation. Okay. It reminds me of the Garden of Eden. Okay, here. So we can copy it. Copy, get back to our Figma design. Okay, here. And we try to paste it. So paste, Ctrl V. You see, it is pasted, and now we have to snap it to grid this way, and we need to snap it to grid. Yeah, remember that the space between here and here is the same length between here and here. So what I'm gonna do is to drag it up a little. Okay, we can watermark this image to like make it a little transparent and stuff, or even add an extra color to it. For instance, if we come to this side, you see that the fill image is image, but it's 100%. What if we make it 50? What's gonna look like? Okay, see what it looks like if it's 50, but I'm gonna return it to 100%. 100. Good. So far so good. So let's try and put a red contrast to it. Remember that you can play around with effects and stuff, but that's not where we're gonna get the reddish contrast we're looking for. We want this image to be a little reddish. So to do that, we'll pick the rectangle icon, pick it, and draw over the image. Now we've drawn over the image, we can put the fill color, for instance, something reddish. All right. Just to be sure that what we just did worked. rectangle. Okay, reddish, and that's fill about 50, and it's backward, bring to front. Okay, I think I know what to do here. Send to back, send backward. Okay, we've put our image behind the rectangle we just drew. So what we're gonna do is to reduce the opacity of the rectangle. Let's see how it goes. Do that 15, and let's hide it first. I just want to be sure of what happened. I think I had too many rectangles. I have to delete some. I had too many rectangles created. Okay, good. Okay, so the rectangle now is behind the image. So let's try and make this image a little less transparent. If we put it at 50% now, you see, it's now reddish. So we just put a reddish background behind the image. So the moment we made the image a little transparent, it became a little reddish. Now this is not a super awesome design, but you're gonna get an idea of where we're going to. When I click on this now, I think the image is too red. I think I'm just gonna put it at 80%. Good. So let's duplicate this. I click on this. Before I duplicate, I think this text is too small. Who agrees with me? It's too small. So instead of 15, let's make it 20. 20. Yeah, I think makes more sense now. All right. Okay, so we'll click on this. We duplicate. Remember, duplicate Control D or Command D duplicates. Okay, so what we're trying to achieve here, okay, you notice that this image did not go with it. We should have grouped before duplication. Should have grouped everything before duplication, but I know what to do. I'll just copy the image, paste it, click on the image, Control C, Control V. It is pasted. Then I can drag the new copy this place. Okay, you can try avoiding the mistake I did, which is group it first before duplication. Okay. The next thing we're gonna do is to create what's gonna happen when this menu is clicked. If this menu is clicked, what's the drop down that is gonna happen? Okay, let's do the grouping. If you highlight from above, then you can do Ctrl G to group, Ctrl G, and we can do that here too. If I highlight everything here, oops, tidy up, done. Okay, we can group. So I highlighted everything in the in this one, and then Ctrl G to group. It is grouped. Now what we can do is to blur this, because when this menu is clicked, the background should blur out. All right. We drill down into effects, click on effects, see there is drop shadow. We can look for layer blur. Look at layer blur, and you see it's a little blurred, and it's okay like this. But if you click on this, you could make more adjustments. For instance, the blur is at 4 here. If I put it at 6, for instance, you see, you can drag it all the way to 10. Let's put it at 15, so you get an idea what the blur does. You see, this is what 15 looks like. But when you blur things out, you generally want them to still stay visible. Okay, so I'm going to blur only to around 6. All right, good. Fine so far. Now for consistency, we can make all our icons the same size. Look at this. If I click on this icon now, it's 32. It's 32 by 27. Okay, if you look at this right side, you see the width is 32, the height is 27. Now you can lock this and give it just anything you give to the width, the height will take it. So we'll just try and make sure that all our icons are consistent. That's one way to solve it. So you lock it and then you do a 32 here. 32. So that all the icons are the same. Okay, let's go get an icon for close. But before we do that, let's draw a right panel, because when someone clicks this, it's supposed to do a drop down. So we click on this, we go from a third of the way. This is you divide it by 70%, all right? So let's say this is 70%, and then we'll draw it all the way down, all the way to the bottom, 70%. Now we want the fill color to be our usual color, so we're gonna pick it here. Good. Now we want a close icon here, and the way to get it is to get back to Font Awesome. Font Awesome that I opened before. I can do close or cancel. I think cancel will be good. We just need an X shaped icon for what we want to do with it. So close, we're going to see so many close. We need something like this. I just need an X shaped icon here. This is what I'm looking for. Click on this or double click as we did before. Then you wait a little. Depending on the speed of your internet, it's going to load. Alright, then as usual we download as SVG. Download as SVG. Agree and download, and we're back to our Figma. We drag as usual. It's gonna be too big, then we resize. Now it's too big. Let's try this method of here, width 32 and height 27 like we did before. Okay, height 27, oops, width 32 on height 27. Okay, there we go. Now we can move it to this place. Okay, now it needs to be like something we want. The color has to be white, and I don't like the way it's spread because it's supposed to be square. It's not spread properly, so let's try 32 here. Or maybe it's just the icon itself doesn't look amazing, but since we're not building the best app in the world, the icon doesn't look the most amazing to me. Remember, we can play around with, instead of white, we can give it a color of gray. Look at here. Instead of white, we can give it something gray, light gray. I think this is a little better. Okay, and remember that there could be other better icons. I don't like this icon. It didn't come out well the way I expected. You could use other close icons, alright? But yeah, something like this. I needed something tiny, not yeah, something tiny like this would have been great. So, but I'm gonna just continue instead of wasting our time. Okay, good. Let's continue. Let's do one last adjustment before we close this particular section. So if I click here, and we're just gonna see that it needs to be on the same height with this, so it's too high. So let me zoom in so you see. You see, it's already giving me a grid line. This icon is too high, so it needs to be on the same grid line with these other icons. So on that note, we're gonna stop here. In the next video, we're going to look at something about adding the rest of the menu on here.